Welcome to another Tuesday Lunch and Learn class with Quest Trust Company. I'm Nicole Bacot, an IRA specialist here, and I will be your host and presenter today. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. Take this off. All right, let's go from the beginning. All right, here we go, guys. All right, so your number one guide to building true tax-free wealth. All you need to know about investing with self-directed IRAs. We're going to touch on what a self-directed IRA really is, why you need one, some couple examples of investing with one, and then of course I'll close it out. So thanks again for joining us. We're so happy to have you. So let's start, of course, who is Quest Trust Company, for those of you who may not have joined us before. So if you can see in the background, there's actually two people right here. This is Quincy and this is Nathan. Quincy Long and Nathan Long. They are two brothers, the CEO and president that actually started our company. They were two self-directed investors themselves, and they actually built the company around what the client experience should be. Being in the industry as the customer themselves, they really wanted to build something that, was all-encompassing, things that they saw were missing in the industry. So they decided to build it themselves. About 17-ish years later, we are the largest self-directed IRA custodian in Texas. We got about 20,000 active investors all over the country. So no matter where you're joining us from today, we can help you, and we're so glad that we can. This is probably a little old. We have a little bit more now than 2.1 billion with a B assets under administration. This is probably right. We're still about 100 employees, 34 certified IRA specialists. I am happy to be one of those IRA specialists. We have about $450 million in undirected cash. This is cash in clients' accounts that they have not selected an investment for. I want you to remember that number for a large opportunity later. Of course, our disclaimer, Quest Trust Company does not provide any tax, legal, investment, structuring or advice at all. We do not, endorse any products, services, investments, what have you. Please make sure you're doing your due diligence on the people that you are working with, the investments that you're investing in. Make sure you are contacting your CPA, your attorney, your financial planner, all the professionals that you depend on for your financial health. So make sure you are checking with them before engaging in any investment at all. This webinar is for education purposes, like all of our other webinars. I'm going to take this a different way than I kind of normally do with these. The retirement industry and the way we save has changed so much, and I kind of wanted to touch on why, or like how it's become so different. So way back in the day, I won't go into what day it was, but way back in the day, they taught this method of the three-legged stool. This is how you save for retirement. And it was, you need to have your Social Security, then your pension plan was going to kick in. And of course, only a third of your retirement was going to be your personal savings. I don't know about you, but I do not work at a job where we have a pension plan. A while ago, I would say a long time ago now, most people worked at one job their whole life, and they were going to get a pension. You work there X years. We promise we're going to give you this amount of money, and that's it. You work there for 40 years. We're going to give you $50,000, what have you, and that's it. We're just going to give it to you. You don't have to save it. The company's just going to give it to you. Not a very popular plan anymore amongst employers. Of course, it's really expensive. The employer is providing it. Some of them kind of got in trouble for investing in things they probably shouldn't have, but pension plans kind of really gone by the wayside. So that's one part of the stool that we can kind of cross out. Social Security, Yes, we still have the Social Security system, but I would argue, and I'm sure lots of other people would too, that that is becoming really less and less of really a stool or a leg that people are depending on really to support them in retirement. I'm pretty sure that it's estimated, I think for my generation, I'm in my early 40s, we're not really expected to get a whole lot out of the Social Security system. So that's kind of two legs. So now we're kind of standing on this one leg that used to only be 1/3 of kind of what Americans in general were used to having to save for themselves. It's kind of now just this one leg now on the stool to get to retirement. So personal savings, of course, can be all kind of things. Of course, it can just be like cash in a savings account, IRAs, 401ks, lots of different investment vehicles there that have happened since this kind of old adage or old way of doing something is you have one job, work there for 40, 50 years, you get your pension. Also, how many people are really working just one job for their whole career? Not very many. Most people are working at a lot of different places. So this stool, the three-legged stool that was taught this, and then this just doesn't really work anymore. So kind of what happened? Pension plans went away. Social Security system is not working. I'm sure as they thought it was in the beginning. So we really kind of have to depend on ourselves at this point to work on saving for retirement. So I just kind of wanted to throw that in there, and then. This is a slide I really like too. I made this one up. Well, sure, we'll play the game. All right, everybody close your eyes. I can't see you out there in TV land, so I'm just going to pretend that you're closing your eyes. And while your eyes are closed, I have waved my magic wand and boom, you're all in retirement. You're at retirement age right now. So sit back, relax, enjoy retirement. But I want you to think about what you are doing in retirement. Are you very active in retirement? Are you traveling all over the country, flying to see different RV parks or the Grand Canyon, what have you? Are you just kind of sitting at home with grandkids? Are you taking a bunch of cruises? Belong to a golf clubs? Just kind of think about what you're doing in retirement, who you're with. We're going to sit in retirement and enjoy that for just one more second. All right, back to work. We're out of retirement. All right, that was fun. Okay, so in this retirement that you have planned for yourself, for some of us, it is a long time away. For some of us, it's not so long away. Some of us have more time to save than others. Some of us do not. So let's look at this chart. This is, monthly income, annual income. There's also this old thing that they used to kind of really say you only need 70% of your income in retirement. But I would argue if I took 30% of your income right now and just gave you 70%, that you probably would be pretty mad at me. Of course, this was like, oh, your house will be paid off. You'll have all these less expenses and what have you. But, medical costs go up when you're older. That house that maybe is paid off, maybe it needs some repairs. Maybe that air conditioner will go out. And in retirement, what are you doing? If you're taking these fancy trips to Europe, or even if you're driving around the RV, or even playing golf, or even playing with the grandkids. I've got some kids, and my parents say that they are kind of pricey to hang out with. So we're going to need some money in retirement, right? And of course, the big question is always, well, how much do I need? Well, it's estimated roughly $1 million, and this is how I got my $1 million. So you can look down the chart for annual income, see where you kind of fit. But even here, annual income of $60,000. Now, I did a various percentage on the income that you would have in retirement, and then the number of years in retirement. So even if I gave you 80% of your income for 20 years in retirement, you would need $960,000 with 80% of your income for 20 years. So you retire at 65, you're going to live till 85. What happens if you live to 86 or 90 or 96? Might want to have some cushion in there, maybe a little more. What happens if we live for 30 years in retirement? Even at 80% of that $60,000 a year, that's still $1.4 million. That's kind of a lot of money to me anyway. And if you're sitting here listening and you're married, go ahead and times this by 2 because there's 2 of you to pay for. So I just think this is kind of a fun little chart, and it's kind of an eye-opening chart to see the various income, percentages of income you think you can live off of, and how long you'll be in retirement. So really important things to think about when you're saving for retirement, and who can help you get there. So glad you asked. It's going to be Quest Trust Company. All right, so let's get started with how we're going to help you. All right, so we are a custodian for self-directed IRAs. And what does that mean? So a self-directed IRA is really no different than any other IRA. It is governed just the same and has the same rules, same contribution limits. It's self-directed is really a marketing term. And it means that you are in the driver's seat. You get to pick the assets. And here at Quest, we only hold private assets. So nothing traded on a market. So nothing traded in the stock market. So bonds, stocks, mutual funds, CDs, all of that. We don't hold any of that. We have an open architecture platform to hold private assets like real estate, like promissory notes, like multifamily syndications, like private stock, oil and gas investments, things like this. And we are the custodian. So we hold the assets and we hold the cash. And that's what we do. We are the custodian, and we help you facilitate the transaction. When you tell us, hey, I want to invest in this rental house, we help you facilitate that transaction. So yes, the owner directs all the investments. No legal distinctions between self-directed IRA, non-self-directed IRA. Self-directed just means you're in the driver's seat. That's all. So why in the world should you have Lien? Well, first, diversification. Nothing wrong with investing publicly or in the stock market. This can add diversification. You can have some publicly invested. This can be privately invested. Certainly adding diversification there. Tax savings. Of course, we have some accounts that are tax deferred, meaning they will grow tax free until you start taking funds out for retirement. Then you're taxed there. And we have some accounts that actually grow tax free. And I'll tell you about those soon. So definitely some tax benefits for you there. Social investing. A lot of times with private assets, you get to do things in your community, or there's more opportunities to do things locally, as opposed to investing in the market where it's these big national and international companies. You don't really know kind of like how it's affecting other people. But so if you are loaning someone to do a fix and flip, for a house in a neighborhood that's kind of run down, and you're helping really beautify that neighborhood and maybe help a community come together, that's something that you can really see that you can't really do that other places. So that's huge to me. And of course, invest in what you know best. This is a place to really let you shine. So, if you're a realtor, you probably know a lot about real estate. If you're into oil and gas, promissory notes, private companies, this is where you get to really use your education. Use your education to really help you pay for retirement, or save for retirement rather. So there's some, of course, good benefits there. So what kind of accounts do we have here anyway? So we have 2 personal plans. Our traditional IRA is our tax deferred individual plan. That is the plan where pre-tax money goes in. This is also the account where most old 401k plans go into, the traditional IRA. This one goes pre-tax money, gross pre-tax or tax deferred until that magic age 59 and a half, magic age for retirement for the IRS. And then when you start taking those distributions, that's when you start paying taxes at your regular income tax bracket. The Roth IRA, people are really excited about this. This is an after-tax account. So you put this money in on funds you've already paid taxes on. So typically like out of your paycheck, you've already paid taxes on that money. What's really cool about the Roth is after you have it open for 5 years and you reach age 59 and a half, you get to take all the funds, penalty and tax-free. So a tax-free account. I would like a tax-free retirement. I think that you would too. So of course we have a class on this on our YouTube channel, Roth conversions. It's a whole another class. Go check it out. I'm sure we're going to teach another one soon. But definitely a way to get that traditional IRA to a Roth IRA is called a Roth conversion. So check that out. Okay, our employer plans, we do have 3. The SEP IRA, employer contributions only. Yes, this is where the boss puts their money. The simple IRA, the employee and the employer can contribute to this plan. And the solo 401k, people really love this account. It does come with some amazing benefits. It does have the higher contribution limits. Can get away from some UDFI, checkbook control here, but it does come with a lot of responsibility. So definitely important to have a consultation with somebody on our solo 401k team. Happen to be on that team, so call me up. I'd be happy to help. Of course, we have a class on that, so check it out on our YouTube channel or our website itself, Maximizing Self-Employment Income. And for our last category of plans, these are our specialty plans, and this is kind of the money now plans. So the health savings account, you can get funds out of now tax-free for qualified medical expenses. This really does cover a lot. Dental, eyes, contacts, braces, all of that kind of stuff. Of course, co-pays and all of that. And then for the kids, a Coverdell education savings account. This is tax-free distributions for education related expenses. And this starts with just an accredited school. So really is as low as kindergarten. So a great account for kids too. So those are our main accounts. Oh, of course, surprise, surprise, we have a class on that. So check out our website for special accounts for special expenses to learn more about those. All right, so of all these plans, which ones can be self-directed? They all can be self-directed or partnered together. And this is what I think is a really interesting thing that you can do with these IRAs. So individual vesting, or the name of the account is what vesting means. So the name of your IRA is Quest Trust Company, FBO, standing for the benefit of John Smith, IRA 12345. If you're going to partner, you can partner like with your traditional and your Roth IRA, or your husband's Roth IRA and your Roth IRA, or husband's Roth IRA, your Roth IRA, your health savings account, and the kids' educational savings account. So now we're building wealth for like the whole family account. So very powerful here. You do have to list it a very special way. We start with our regular vesting or name of the account, and we just add as to an undivided interest of 50%, 50%. Now the percentages don't matter. They just have to stay the same for the life of the asset. And I have a case study coming up where I really get to show you this, and I'm really excited about it. But you can partner your accounts together for a single investment. So just because you have a few small accounts doesn't mean you can't do anything with them. So I'm gonna show you in a case study later how this comes up. All right, so we do have these amazing IRAs, but the IRS has put just a few restrictions on them about some things we have to stay in the lines of. So we have people, transaction, and investment restrictions. So we'll go over these. So I'll start over. Disqualified persons, persons who cannot benefit or enter into transactions with your IRA or another plan. So you cannot get a benefit. The people that are going to get a benefit by entering into the transaction is going to be a disqualified person. Who are these people? So start thinking of you completely separate than your IRA. Your IRA is its own entity, altogether. It has its own name, like we just saw, its own tax ID number. It's got its own address, its own phone number, which is, Quest. And so you are separate from your IRA. So disqualified persons may not enter into transactions with Mr. IRA. So who do you think the first disqualified person is? Of course, if I could see all your lovely faces, I would pick on you. But the first disqualified person is, of course, you. So you cannot get a direct benefit from this IRA. The other people that cannot get a benefit, here we go. So it's you, your spouse, your lineal ascendants, and your lineal descendants. So parents, grandparents, children, grandchildren, and all of their spouses, including your spouse's lineal ascendants and descendants and their spouses, including any companies that they would own, control, manage, or are highly compensated by. So those are your list of highly disqualified people. Here's the big chart for you to memorize. I'm kidding. This just really breaks it down. So here's the IRA. You as the fiduciary, you're first disqualified, and then the up and down members of your family and the spouse, companies that they own, control, manage, what have you. So those are the disqualified people. And what cannot you do? So disqualified people cannot buy and sell. So you can't buy anything from the IRA. Can't buy anything from you personally. And you can't sell anything to the IRA that you own personally. Trade and loan, you can't barter with it. The IRA can't loan money to you. You can't loan money to the IRA. Extend a service. This can be from anything for paying for an expense in the IRA instead of the IRA paying for all of the expenses. And then, of course, direct or indirect benefit. So this would be living maybe in one of your investment houses. That would certainly be a direct benefit. So, of course, prohibited transactions, we have a whole class on it. Quincy, our CEO, did an amazing job. And we have one on our website and one on our YouTube channel if you want to get into this more. So just things to watch out for there. And the IRS has given us 2 investment restrictions. Life insurance, totally understand. We don't want people betting on someone else's death. I get that one. And then, of course, collectibles. So artworks, gems, rugs, metal, alcohol, antiques, what have you. So we can't put your wine collection in the IRA. Just go ahead and enjoy retirement and drink it then. All right. So what can I invest in with a self-directed IRA? I'm so glad that you asked. All right. So here are our 3 main asset classes that a lot of our clients invest in. So real estate, so hard real estate, if you will. So single family, where they're doing renting, people buy foreclosures and do all kind of different things with them. Commercial property, condos, options on improved land. People will improve it, or they'll just kind of sit on it, wait for appreciation. Tax liens, private entities. These could be investments into the multifamily syndications we're seeing a lot of, any limited liability company, joint ventures, trusts, things like that. Promissory notes, of course, some people like to act as the bank and they like to loan their funds out. So they will start a new note, secured or unsecured. Some people buy existing notes, performing and non-performing. So lots of choices there. But I would say that there's even more choices. You can invest in oil and gas, royalties, mineral rights. We have a couple of people with cattle. So as long as it's a private asset that's not prohibited, we'll try and work with you there. But we don't sell any investments. We don't have any investments of our own. So it's definitely something that you would need to choose and do your due diligence on. So just some examples there. All right, so how does this work anyway? It's actually very simple. We make this as easy as possible for you. So open an account at Quest Trust Company, takes maybe 10-15 minutes to fill out the application. We can have an account number for you in 24 to 48 hours. That's our standard processing time. Our transfers team is amazing. We can help initiate that transfer from your current custodian. Of course, locate your investment. We have a lot of educational classes and networking opportunities I'll bring up in a little bit to kind of find that investment. We do have, we will have some supporting documents to kind of send in that our transaction specialist will review, making sure everything is in the name of the IRA. As soon as those are approved, then we go out and Quest sends the funds out on behalf of the IRA to the seller of the asset. So again, 24 to 48 hours, our standard processing time. We work with you. We make this as easy as possible for you. All right, so this is the case study that I wanted to show you. I think this is really interesting, and I really like the way this happened. So this is a first lien. This is a promissory note. So it's $150,000 promissory note, but this was the 9 IRAs got together to do this. So that's not it. Okay, here it is. So I don't know how close you can see this, but if you go down to the bottom is kind of where I really wanted to show you where this gets fun. So the last account was an ESA, an education savings account, and the contribution limits for those are $2,000 per year per kid. So at $2,000, it's kind of hard to build that balance. So this is when you start partnering to kind of help build that. So the ESA went in for 1.9% at $3,000. And remember, the education savings account, you get to have those funds come out tax-free for qualified education savings account. Educational expenses. And then above, it was another ESA for 3.83%. This was a traditional IRA for 3.83% for $6,000. Let's see, 4.46 for $7,000. Let's see if I can find a Roth in here. Let's see. So ESAs, the taxes would have come out, the funds would have come out tax-free because of the type of account. I saw a Roth in here earlier. Those returns are going to come out tax-free if you follow the rules. So I really wanted to show you how cool and how powerful partnering can be. So even if you have some accounts that have these small balances, you don't have to partner with just yourself. You can partner with other Quest account holders. And so, it's 9 people, but it totally can be done. I just thought this was a really exciting example of how partnering can work, how small accounts can get together, and how you can build those balances. I hear a lot that I don't have any money in my account, or I just have a few $1,000. There's nothing I can do with it. You can do things with it. So I just really wanted to show this example. And I know you can't read this whole thing. So it's a first lien position. So if the borrower defaults, the lenders could default on the property and they would get their $158,000. They lended $157,000. Charged 12% interest 1 year. They made an $18,000 profit. Now it was split these percentages ways. So because the ESA put in the small percentage, they're going to get a small percentage back, but that's how it grows. Small, 1 investment, 2 investments, 3 investment, it grows. So that was here we go. This is what I was looking. So this is kind of how they did this. So Quest does not negotiate any of these terms. These account holders got together. They negotiated terms. They got with the attorney. They drew up the note. They decided you get to put in this, or however they did it. All lenders had to submit the internal Quest trust paperwork. So they all had to submit their promissory note to us. And because it was secured by that house, they had to, turn in the deed of trust. the transaction specialist reviewed them and it was approved because they were all Quest clients. Quest was able to send just one wire to the borrower, and the borrower makes one payment at Quest, and Quest, splits all that up. Closed at a title company. Lenders had attorney draft the promissory note. Borrowers known to pay back early. I want to say that they put something in there that said like they must pay the first 4 notes because he's known to pay back early. Interest payment will be paid at the end back to Quest. Again, they picked that. Quest will then split between the accounts for them. And then we already kind of talked about this, the types of IRAs used and the different benefits. So the Roth IRA, they're going to receive tax-free profits, and the ESAs, tax-free for qualified educational expenses. So lots of things going on here, lots of ways you can use the IRA. I just thought this was a really exciting example. Some key points to remember. Obviously, you can't loan money to yourself or any other disqualified person. You and the borrower, you're free to set your own loan terms. You designed this. This does not have anything to do with Quest, what Quest wants. This is you and the borrower making deals, or making it work for both of you on, how this is going to work. You can have a secured loan, an unsecured loan. They can be secured by things other than real estate, such as equipment, mobile homes, what have you. Of course, we have a class for this, how to borrow and lend more private money with self-directed accounts. So check that out on our website. This is another cool thing that I wanted to talk to you about. How can my IRA profit now? OPI, ladies, it is not the nail polish, other people's IRAs. So remember at the beginning of this seminar, I said to remember the opportunities that were in that $450 million in undirected cash. It's just sitting there. So what are we going to do with it? Just sitting there. So that means that a lot of people have a lot of people to lend. So if you need to borrow some money, create your own private financing source. There are trillions of dollars in retirement accounts. At every gathering, there are millions of dollars available for investing, not vesting. So just at Quest alone, $450 million is here. I mean, not here in my office here, but here at Quest for you to create these opportunities. So clients that have that cash, you can be lenders. People that need cash, you can, start that networking and find some lenders. So I'm going to tell you all how you can do that too in just a second. But I just thought this was a really interesting perspective. One on the lender side, with the example that we went to, and then now on the borrower side, it's like I don't have like $100,000 to build a house. That's okay. Other people here do. So we offer, I think another thing that really separates Quest is endless education that we offer to kind of tell you about these things. Of course, you have the weekly classes, Tuesdays and Saturdays now, self-directed IRA Saturday, noon Central, same time, same place. The virtual networking happy hour is coming up this Wednesday. I'm sorry, not this Wednesday. It's the last Wednesday in the month. I apologize. I thought I had it right here. It is going to be the 26th of January, 6:30 to 8. I'm going to make sure I have that link in here for you. But this is great because it's obviously if you're not in the Texas area, you can still network with Quest clients or just network to learn more. There's always people on there. Hey, I'm a borrower. Hey, I'm a lender. Hey, I have this real estate deal. What do y'all think? Or, hey, I'm a brand new person. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just came to learn. It's always a good time. I'm hosting it. It'll be really fun. So I'd love for you to join us. And of course, YouTube and Facebook. YouTube on our video section are all the webinars, including this one that we've ever done. They're in there from most recent to not. Great resources. We have some playlists that are specific to topics. We have everything there from what is a self-directed IRA to like what are the most wild and, complicated things people have done. So a wealth of information on our YouTube channel. The marketing team works really, really hard on that. So make sure you check out these additional classes, use this education because it's there, but if you don't use it, it's not going to really do anything for you. So make sure you check it out, use our classes, use our webinars, use it to your advantage. All right, let's keep in touch. I would love to hear from you later. So of course you can always chat with us live on the website. The little box comes up on the right when you go to questtrust.com. It is not manned by robots. We get that question a lot. It's actually us, the IRA specialist and the transaction specialist. So we really do know how to answer the questions. Or we can certainly put you in touch with the right person to get your question answered. We are happy to help. It's 8:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday. It's actually one of my favorite things that I get to do is be on the chat box. Of course, call us. I love our phone number. I just think this is great. 855-FUN-IRAs. We really do think this is fun. We are a bunch of nerds that talk about this stuff in the hallway, and we argue over IRS codes and what this really means and what about this transaction. And we really think this is fun. So please call us. We would love to help you. Email me directly, nicole.bacot@questtrust.com. Of course, I forgot our main email, IRA specialist at questtrust.com. We would love to hear from you. So we have had some fun. We've chatted. We've talked about retirement. We're talking about why you need to save for retirement, how much you need to save for retirement, how Quest can help you, the kind of assets that you have here, how we can help you do that, how great we are. We're going to fund your stuff fast, and we're going to give you all this education. We're going to help you along the way. But none of that helps at all if you don't use it. So I leave you with a few things. There are risks and costs to action, but they are far less than the long-range risks of comfortable inaction. The Kennedys and I are very close, and they said that I could use this quote of Jack's. But I really do feel that this is true. I think a lot of us get scared. And we've analyzed everything so much, but what if about this? And I don't know. And I just need to watch one more webinar. And what about this? And I just don't know. And let me talk to my husband and my sister and my preacher. And there's absolutely education that needs to be had. But the one thing I would say I hear the most from clients about their investing when we've asked, what's your number one tip? They all say, I wish I would have started sooner. So this information does you no good without any action. So what will you do today? Because today is a new start. It is a fresh way of investing. You get to design all of this. Self-directed investing, but it's designed by you. It's your account, your investments, your way. We're just here to help. So with that, I leave you with contact us today. Take some action. Do something different. Yes, it's fun to come to the class and it's fun to hear the stories, but if you don't do anything with it, it doesn't do anything for you. So take action. Make the phone calls, send us an email, sign up for the emails if you don't get them, sign up for the happy hour, do something different that you haven't done today. Take care of yourself first. That retirement date is coming whether you want it to or not. And you do not want to be the side of the I haven't saved so much for retirement side. So take some action, guys. I am going to stop sharing my screen because I want to put some information on here. That's not gonna, I thought it would show a different way. Sorry, guys. I did want to put my email address up here one more time. Oh, and you know what? I forgot that I have some amazing moderators with me today. Wanda Shawn and Brianna Clayton are obviously other IRA specialists on our team. And let's see if we have any questions. Let's see. Doesn't look like we have very many questions today, but that's okay. Here is our phone number one more time. This is not the 855 Fun IRAs. This is the local Houston number. But here, 855 Fun IRAs. Not how you spell IRAs. I probably need more coffee. Oh, there we go. There's our phone number. All right, guys. Well, if there are no questions from the audience, all right. If there's no questions from the audience, then I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Tuesday class. We will be here on Saturday with another topic and another guest speaker. Thanks so much and have a great week, guys. Bye.